Welcome to Family Morning. It's a fresh day. Well, it's a wonderful, 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 wonderful day. And here is the very first edition of the global edition of Family Morning. And I am hosting all the way from Washington, D.C. in the USA. My name is Michael Griffiths, and I'm here with the Queen of Great Ningo, reporting all the way from the United Kingdom. Hey, Tish.
The queen indeed. Hello, Michael.
Hey, you're welcome to Family Morning. And coming up today on Family Morning, the Queen Elizabeth is laid to rest as the king, the new King Charles takes over. Also, I'm here in the United States because of the celebrations or the commemoration of 9/11, the sad story. So we're going to talk about these two things um, on Family Morning. And then we're going to have some tidbits for you. But let's use the Queen's for today's Pass It On message. We're going to quote the Queen. She says, "It has always been easy to hate and destroy. To build and to cherish is much more difficult. It has always been very, very easy to hate and destroy, but to build and to cherish is more difficult." Queen Elizabeth II. What do you think, Tisha, about that quote?
Oh,
It has always been easy to hate and to destroy, but to build and to cherish is more difficult.
that is very true. Very, very true. Hating is easy. Destroying is easy. I mean, imagine yourself pulling down a building. You could just pull it down like that. But to build takes time. It takes commitment. It takes a lot of devotion and selflessness. So definitely agree with her.
Definitely wonderful quote. So we'll be talking about the Queen Elizabeth dies. We're talking about September 11, and we've got some great things for you in other segments of our show. We'll celebrate the first African American woman who goes into space, and today also is the International Programmers Day, and so we'll talk about that. And in 1981, something wonderful happened, and so many other points will be coming up, and of course the celebrity and wonderful birthdays of great people who have achieved something. So um, let's take it from there. Welcome again to Family Morning. It's a fresh day.
It is a fresh day indeed. It's a new.
All right. So you are welcome to Family Morning. It's a fresh day. And as I said, I am here in Washington, D.C., USA. And I have my twin sister, the Queen of Great Ningo, across the Atlantic on the other side of the world, in London, England, Tish. So the Queen dies today. And oh no, not today. Of course,
Right,
the 8th. I think she died on the 8th of September, a couple
right.
of days ago, and already they are getting ready to lay her to rest. And over here, President Joe Biden says he's heading to the funeral, so I'm sure that he's there by now and being part of a celebration as we have seen already. I think so far, what has happened there? What is happening in London, England?
Oh, today Charles III is proclaimed as King of England. So we are no more hearing Queen. Now it's King. And um, everyone in the nation is shaking, and we are all in black. I'm in black today because we are mourning our Queen. So, yeah.
Wow. So we're gonna just take a look at a video of not yet, not yet. But I think that we're just gonna talk a little bit about Queen Elizabeth and her legacy as the Queen of England. She's the longest serving monarch.
Yes.
She's seen it all. She's seen history
She's in
and
history.
so many things. She was here. She was in Ghana for independence, right? Was she the one who granted independence to Ghana?
She did. I don't know much about that, but I know her commitment to the Commonwealth.
Yeah, so she was the one that dished out independence to all the different countries.
Oh,
It was that time that most of the nations became free. She has a great legacy, really. African nations that when she ended colonialism, really. We have to give that to her.
she did. She's an amazing woman. In fact,
Wow.
she is like a mother to all
Mm.
of us, to most people. Yesterday when it happened, I was actually at the shopping mall. Somebody just called me
Wow.
and said, "Have you heard the queen just died?" And tears
Wow.
welled into my eyes, you know. And this gentleman just said, "She's always been like a mother to me."
Wow. A mother from a distance. Wow. So King Charles,
Oh,
how
yeah.
about him? Would he be able to step into these great shoes?
The queen has left a huge legacy.
Mhm.
That woman carried everything in her heart. You could tell that she worked from her heart. She worked from her heart. She loved as much as she could. I don't know much about how Charles is going to do this, but I believe he's been well trained. He's seen his mom do this year after year, and
Hmm.
I think he's well trained. Unfortunately, he's not a mother. So I don't know how he's going to go about
He's
it.
gonna be a father.
He's going to be a father.
He's gonna be a father. I mean, from the things that he said when I watched him in the what they call the blue room or whatever they call it,
Yeah.
I felt like he was really stepping into it, and I love the fact that he called it my dear mama, my darling mama. I loved it. It was that was when I felt like okay, he's really gonna be able to take the shoes. But when I talk about the queen, ending colonialism in Africa is a big deal. That's a great achievement. We've never really thought about that until now that she's there, that she's the one that actually ended colonialism across Africa. She saw it all to the last country, South Africa became free from apartheid. And that is really a great legacy to the Queen.
It's a great
That
achievement.
all could give all of us independence. And every one of the videos, every country you see her sitting there, young woman, she was young and probably maybe a lot of people in England didn't like her giving colonialism and giving us freedom from colonialism, but she did. I can compare it to Abraham Lincoln giving ending slavery in America.
Yeah. There are those who love her and there are those who hate her. To be honest, yesterday somebody posted something on my Facebook and it's like the whole world is divided into two. There are those who love her, and then there are those who are screaming, "Yay, the queen is dead," and they are happy. But
Wow.
oh yeah, yeah, there is a great division. But I loved her. I loved
She,
her
she, she
because
was
of
she was
who
wonderful.
she is as a person. I love that. I love that about her.
Wow. On that note, we love Queen Elizabeth. We're going on a short break, and when we get back, more on Family Morning from Washington, D.C. and London, England. Keep watching.
What?
Sarah, you've got this, okay?
You can be amazing, you can turn a phrase into a weapon or a drug. You can be the outcast, to be the backlash of somebody's lack of love. But I wonder what would happen if you say what you want to say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I want to say you'll be great. What you want to say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I want to say
But they lost.
Not really. Not where it counts.
Welcome back to Family Morning. It's a fresh day. My name is Michael Griffiths, all the way from Washington, D.C., USA, and I'm here with the Queen of Great Ningo, all the way from
Can you
the
stop saying
Kingdom of England, London, UK. Okay, so normally on this segment we usually talked about inventions and innovations, but I mean with this the Queen's death, we cannot talk about anything else but to discuss the legacy of the great Queen of England. I mean, she's been part of our lives, our history as a nation. Ghana was a colony of Ghana, and so we will talk about this for a while. Um, a lot of us in Ghana actually have British blood, and that is one thing I wanted to talk to Tish about. But Tish, I feel like you have Buckingham Palace blood in you.
I have no idea what you mean by British blood in me.
But like in my home, my wife has got British blood in her. I mean, some of us from Cape Coast, we don't simply have English names, but we have the Queen's people as part of us. So, and also as part of the Commonwealth, of course.
Yeah.
On a serious note,
Yeah.
we are all part of this. We can change it at the moment. It will take a while for things to change. I know some of us who are more like pro-black and pushing it like, okay, there's now neo-colonialism and all that. It's not being fair if we look at it.
Of course,
There
yeah.
were so many excesses that was done, so many bad things that was done by the British colony, the empire. But this young woman, as young as she was, I don't know how young she was. We need to check that when we were given independence. She was a young.
She was.
Ghana was 60 years ago. So she must have been like 30 or maybe 29, thereabout.
Yeah.
And she stood up as a queen and took a bold step. And this is something that none of the monarchs had done. The men before her didn't do.
Hmm.
She changed the power of a woman. She changed everything. She just decided to start dishing independence left and right. And maybe you think that because we were agitating, you could imagine some of the kings or the leaders who would have crushed this rebellion, or so-called, they would have called it a rebellion and crushed it. But as a mother, compassion, think about the people. She gave us our rights as nations of Africa.
Yes.
Tish?
I always say that she was a mother figure to a lot of us, and having lived in England for over 22 years, I see that compassion, that love, that she's like a mother hen and who gathers her children. And I see that um personality in the way she even relates to the Commonwealth. And if you don't want to stay in the Commonwealth, it's okay. But her interest in humanity itself reflects a lot of the decisions that she made through her life, through her 70 years of reign. And I must say, she is an incredible woman.
Wow, incredible woman.
Model
Go ahead.
of our generation, yes. And I can't say enough that I have loved the Queen since I've lived in this country, even before. Yes. And it's not a British blood, because I don't have British blood. In fact, my great grandfather was a Dane.
Wow.
Yes.
You're Danish?
Yes.
Oh,
Then-
wow.
Then the Aguda II of Nego, he was a paramount chief for 50 years. He was half Dane, half Ghanaian. So
I have to watch you because before the barbarian thing will start, I need to watch you. Wow.
so
I mean, I've loved the Danes. I've been watching too much Netflix sometimes, so I love those Danish barbarians. There's one called Last Kingdom where they were trying to take over England, and there was one that was half Dane and half English. So I get it. Totally get it.
there's been a lot of conflict,
Yes, a lot of conflicts that happens.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
So
we don't know much about that side of the history, but the history that we have come to live in and to enjoy is the British history. For those of us who were able to come and live here, it's
okay.
an incredible history.
Yeah, you got to give that to them. We got to give that to them. But we have a rich history in Africa too. We'll get to our turn. But as we talk about the death of the Queen, I also want us to look at today in history, and maybe this whole week and the past weekend. It's been quite an interesting historic weekend, very significant. Of course, September 11 attacks as well. We'll be talking about that in a minute. But let me talk about a few more things before we go back to September 11. In 1992, first African American woman goes into space. This day in history, the day of the programmer, International Programmers Day today, in terms of programming, computer programming. Today in history is celebrated. And I don't know if you know the cartoon, The Smurfs, the
Oh,
animated cartoon series by Hanna-Barbera, first broadcast in North America in 1981, today in history. And so, well, 9/11 attacks this weekend. Here, and the whole week of since the 9th, and so on and so forth. This whole past week has been so many things in commemoration throughout the United States of America. People remember that day, and I remember that day very well. It was my son Norman. I just been born a few days, and then that happened. It was crazy. I don't know where you were when that happened, Tish. Maybe you can tell us your side of what happened 9/11.
I actually witnessed I was watching the news when there was a breaking news. And then, so we saw the first segment where the plane went into the first building. And then as I was watching, I thought, oh, is this happening right now? And then in the middle of the news, I had just had my daughter as well. So I was in this little place with my little baby in London when it happened, and I wasn't sure what was happening on the news. And then the second plane hit, so I saw the whole thing and all the commotion that came after. Everybody was confused. Nobody seemed to know. It was a few minutes after that we realized what actually happened. So yeah, I remember that day very well.
Wow, that's something. I mean, we still don't know. We can't put words to describe the pain and agony that was unleashed upon the world that day. And we pray that things like that don't happen again. The many lives that was lost in the tower and the plane, and so on and so forth. So we just want to wish our brothers and sisters of the United States our condolence one more time, that we stand with you. All of people of a good world, we stand with you. We pray for the families that are remembering their pain, mothers and fathers and relatives, sons who lost their parents and daughters who lost their parents. We just want to say, Damrifa, as we say in Ghana. It's a sad story. But we just want to, if the technical team are ready to play a video of the Queen's reaction to 9/11. This was a third and last visit to New York, and she went to Ground Zero. Technical team.
The Queen witnessed and participated in so much history over her long life and reign. And as we prepare to commemorate the 21st anniversary of 9/11, we're taking a look at how Queen Elizabeth responded to those attacks.
CBS 2's Tony Aiello spoke with a man who escorted the Queen on her only visit to Ground Zero.
It was her third and final visit to New York City in 2010. Queen Elizabeth's tour guide at Ground Zero was Port Authority official Glenn Guzzi.
She was bright and inquisitive. She knew how to make anyone feel at ease in her presence, but she was just a very warm, interested person.
What was her mood about visiting there? What do you remember about that day?
Both she and Prince Philip were very inquisitive in terms of what our challenges were, really focusing on the human aspect of the toll it took on New York and the country.
The attacks killed almost 100 of her subjects and clearly deeply affected the Queen, who broke protocol in 2001, ordering that the Star-Spangled Banner be sung during a service at St. Paul's Cathedral in London, and during the changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace.
To have that respect paid back to the United States. And such a dark day for the United States, I think, is just, hugely important.
Guzzi has escorted many members of the royal family visiting the site and attended a garden party at Buckingham Palace with the Queen.
She and her entire family, including the now King Charles, had always had a deep appreciation for New York.
She clearly appreciated Guzzi, including him on her 2016 list of honors, an MBE award for services to UK-US relations.
Just will always be eternally grateful for an individual who allowed me to become a bit more familiar with her.
Her connection to New York and grief over the attacks enshrined in Lower Manhattan at a park she dedicated in 2010, the Queen Elizabeth II September 11th Garden. Tony Aiello, CBS 2 News.
All right. You are welcome back to Family Morning. It's a fresh day, and you saw that story of the Queen at the Ground Zero. That was the movie. Those were moving pictures. Tish, what do you think? They were very moving pictures.
It was very moving, very, very moving. And her love for humanity is expressed in everything she does, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. I mean, that's really moving. That makes you miss her. We're really going to miss the Queen for a long, long, long time to come.
Yeah.
And my children have all seen this part of history. Maybe they will tell it to their grandchildren to pass it on. They will go back down in history. And that's
Yeah.
amazing. Well, 9/11 is still going on. There's been many celebrations across the United States. Parades here. I mean, in DC, the roads, a lot of it have been blocked, different directions have been given because of the the celebrations going on. I was trying to see if I could speak with a few people, but we'll not be able to play that today. Maybe in the next episode tomorrow, we will continue talking about this, so we'll be able to see what people are saying, their memories of 9/11, and at the same time, the Queen dying. The whole thing coming together. It's an amazing historic moment we're experiencing right now. I mean, on the plane flying from Atlanta to Washington D.C., the discussions was all about this. Everybody that sat on the plane talked about the Queen's death or 9/11, and we were just talking about it. And the security is so serious. I mean, the dogs everywhere. Just So these are very momentous occasions that we experience in our times right now. I think we're gonna go for another break, and then when we get back, more on Family Morning. I'm not sad. It's a fresh day. See you after the break.
Oh, Max, you broke it. No, don't do that. Bad boy.
Find out what we're made of. When we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3. I'll be there.
You're welcome back to Family Morning. It's a fresh day, and I am Michael Griffiths, all the way from Washington, D.C. in the USA, and I am here with Tish, all the way from London, England, Tish. I'm just going to talk about our sponsors a bit. We haven't mentioned them at all. That's not a good thing. This is a global edition, so we're still trying to get ourselves together on this, reporting from different time zones and all the internet issues and so on and so forth. So just bear with us. Family Morning is brought to you by Family Times Magazine, your entertainment magazine, Family Vacations, Discover the World with Us, Family Cakes, everything footwear, and also Accra City Hotel, the business place of Accra. Don't forget to visit them, spend some time with them. Accra City Hotel is our partner and our sponsor as well. And more sponsors coming up after this. Now, let's talk about the birthdays of some great achievers. And I want to talk about the late Paul Walker, 1973. I'm sure this refers to Paul Walker of the Speed movie. What is it called? The Speed movie? I forgot that movie now. Whoa! I forgot. Somebody help me. For a minute. And Fast and the Furious, Fast and the Furious movie, and how do you call it? He passed on, and that's a sad story. He was born in 1973, so if he was alive, he would have probably been 49 years old if he was alive. That's Paul Walker, and also Jennifer Hudson. I'm sure you know Jennifer Hudson, the great singer. She was born in 1981. Also, Hans Zimmer. I'm sure some of you know Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer is the guy that does the music. He scores almost all the great soundtracks to our movies. So these are the Hollywood celebrities, and they celebrate their birthdays today. If you celebrate your birthday today, just send us a message at on any of our social media handles across all social media is at Family Social GH or Family TV Ghana GH. If you send us messages, we'll celebrate you on your birthday today. We also have the birthday club, so you can join the birthday club and also drop the details as Family Social GH across all our platforms. You can watch this live on Family Tube GH on YouTube, Family TV Global across all platforms, and very soon we're going satellite, so you'll be able to get us free to air on the satellite channel. We'll give you more details as we go along. Don't forget that Family TV celebrate 8 years of safe television for the whole family. And we say thank you for being a part of our journey, our story, and our family. Tish, the queen of Ningo, proud. Great Ningo. So the mood in England is, are people talking about 9/11 in England?
It is not much. Well, it is remembered as part of history and the Queen's contribution to it, because it was on 9/11 that actually made the Prime Minister, the Queen, the whole of England actually sang the anthem of America in their service. And that's a big thing for one nation to actually sing the anthem of the other nation. But it's because of the connection to what happened on 9/11. It affected everyone. It affected a lot of British. It affected a lot of globally. It shook the whole global system. So we all carried America in our hearts as much as we carried all our relations and friends and family who were affected one way or the other. And the Queen was seen championing that. So that keeps coming up on the news. But the solemn and the sadness of this whole thing is really missing this mother, the mother of the nation, the mother of United Kingdom and the most Commonwealth countries, is what is really heavy in our hearts in the UK here. And even though Charles III has now been proclaimed King of England, our hearts are still connected deeply with the Queen.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while for you to come back and see him, to accept him, and to get familiarized with him. I wonder what kind of a style of leadership he's going to bring to the table. I'm wondering. It probably will be more dynamic than the Queen, considering he's younger, because he's probably going to be more active than the Queen. You don't think so?
I don't think so. The Queen started very young and she was very vibrant. And during the Second World War, she was involved in the war activity. She was involved in, she was seen doing what normal people were doing. And she actually contributed so much. And she was very, very active. That woman, she carried everyone in her heart, going from place to place.
But really, honestly speaking, you cannot compare the two. at
No,
all.
well, Charles
Uh,
comes from
Charles has had very troubled coming up to this throne. His life has been very troubled. Considering Princess Diana, you cannot talk about this without mentioning her. Imagine if they were still together and this happened at this time when he's ascending the throne. What the kind of a queen
she
that
would
Princess Diana would have been.
oh, that's a dent in the monarchy. It's a dent in the whole story that we are sharing. I mean, the thing about the queen is that she's seen it all. She's seen it all. She's seen 15 prime ministers of a United Kingdom, 14 of American presidents. She's seen 7 popes come and go. She's seen world leaders come and go. She's seen calamities and all sorts of things she's experienced as a person, and her calmness and her steadfastness through which she carried all these things and went through them all. I believe Charles has inherited a lot of that. And remembering Diana and her heart for people as well, her heart for humanity, her heart for charity, that would have been an amazing combination, because
I am telling you.
she would have carried that heart that the queen had. She would have just carried on the queen's legacy. Has made his choice. Camilla, right there with Charles. And to be fair, she's been a very powerful rock for Charles, to be honest. I mean, despite I love Diana. I love Diana. And I was one of the people who struggled to accept Camilla. But hey, what happened. We have to forgive and bless her to be who she wants to be, or she's been to be. And she's been a rock for him. You know, the children got to know her better. And I don't know what their relationship has been, but on the surface, we see them as having good relationship. Bygones be bygones. Life goes on. Charles is now with Camilla, and they are going to start.
So what is she? She's going to be called Queen, or Queen in what?
Oh, she's going to be called Queen Consort, I think. She's not
Queen in Consort or something like that.
Yeah.
We're still learning some new things, huh?
Yeah.
Queen in Consort.
Yes.
Queen in Consort. That's interesting. Really, really interesting. So don't forget to send your contribution on social media. Our handle is Family Social GH, Family Tube GH on YouTube. Family TV Ghana is .com, our website. Yes, that's very important. Family TV Ghana is our website. Just visit Family TV, www.familytvghana.com, and you can find the different things there. You can watch this live when you're on the go internationally, or you can go to Family Depot, do your shopping, check out family vacations. You can travel with us. There's a group coming to the USA next week to Disney World. There's some groups going to Orlando. They're going to Orlando, Florida. Yes, we have a group also going to Singapore. So sign up for the Singapore trip. Remember, if you're Ghanaian, you don't really need a visa to go to Singapore. So this will be a great opportunity for you to travel internationally without a hustle of lining up in the morning to get a visa. You are still watching Family Morning. It's a fresh day. We're all in a somber mood, considering the season which we are still looking at the commemoration of 9/11 and the passing of a queen. So we're all in a somber mood. So it's kind of what you call it, with our moods this morning as we mourn with the royal family. To some, it's just news. But think about if it's your mother or it's your aunt or your grandmother that is passed, you will definitely feel it. We're going to go for a short break, and let's come back for more on Family Morning. It's a fresh day right here on Family TV, celebrating 8 years of safe television for the whole family. Thank you for being a part of our journey, our story, and our family. See you after the break.
You've been so kind and generous. I don't know, keep on giving. For your kindness, I'm in debt to you. For your selflessness, my admiration. For everything you've done, you know I'm bound to thank you for it.
You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, or brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Imagine the possibilities if the world will live as one. Passidon.com. Now, just to let you know, Family Network represents or is affiliated to Pass It On, the Foundation for a Better Life. And very soon you're going to see them on all the billboards and on radio and TV, just not Family TV, but all across the media space in Ghana. As I was walking through the airports in America, and I see passiton.com over all the walls. I took pictures of some of them, and I'll be sharing them with you as we go along. And it's a beautiful thing. And we've just commissioned a new one, which will be the first one with Africans. We're using the music from Osibisa, Sunshine Day, and that's going to be called Smile, Pass It On. So we'll be launching that in the very near future. You're welcome back to Family Morning. It's a fresh day. My name is Michael Griffiths, all the way from Washington, D.C., USA, and I am with, come on, where is she? Bring her up. Please introduce yourself by yourself. I've been introducing you the whole time.
Akina Asumang.
Akina Asumang, all the way in London, in the UK. I just want us to talk a little bit about the Queen in Consort, Camilla. It's fair that we give her some limelight. What do you think?
Well, yes, definitely. I think we've been kind of hiding her, but she's out there. Once Charles ascends, or he has now ascended, he's been proclaimed the King of England. She cannot be queen. She cannot be called queen, because once you marry into the royal family, you cannot ascend the throne or be a queen, but you would be called a queen consort. So that's what she is. She will have her role to play as the woman beside the king, but she cannot carry the name queen.
Just like the prince that passed,
Yes.
Charles's father.
Yes.
Was it Prince Andrew? Was that his name?
Exactly. Prince Philip. He
Prince
remained
Philip, rather.
the prince beside the queen throughout.
Prince beside the
Your-
queen throughout his life. He played it very well too. But I don't want us to shift. I don't want us to shift and go and give life. Let's go to Camilla. Who's Camilla? Can you tell us a little bit about who's that lady? Can you do you have any information about
Bowles.
the woman in the shadows of Diana back in the day?
The woman
Right?
who remained in the shadows of Diana for a long time. I think there's been a lot of stories about her. She was once married and connected to Charles from when they were very young. And that created a lot of friction between Charles and Diana as the story goes. And it was like she was like Charles' secret admirer, and Charles secretly admired her. I don't know if it was secret or they had a way of meeting and doing that. But there were a lot of stories that came up, and even before he married Diana. And that woman has always been the third leg in the family.
Third leg in the family.
In my marriage.
But just to bring this up, if Charles was an African prince, she could have been married. But yeah,
of course.
Diana would have been fine, eh?
Well, if she has that understanding, why not?
Because most African kings have done that in the past. Of course, not many do that anyway these days. But just to think about it, I mean, in the Africans, they would have said, "Okay, why don't polygamy is allowed? Why don't you just marry the two and be free?"
Yeah.
But why did Charles even marry Diana if he was in love with someone else?
Well, she was a married woman. You know, the monarchy was against that in the beginning. And eventually they had to change things and shift things to bring her in because Charles wanted her. So did
she get divorced or she lost her spouse?
I can't remember what actually happened, but in the end, I think she got divorced. I think
she got divorced,
and she
just to be with the
man with her heart. I mean, it's a beautiful story. If you look at two people in love, and just by virtue of the fact that he was a prince, he had to marry from a particular family, from a particular background. He chose to marry the Spencer. The Spencers are actually connected to Northampton. Diana is from where I live here.
Yes. But the thing is this, to think about it, both Prince Charles and Princess Diana were all very you can't fit them in a box, non-conformists, because they all broke the rules, all of them. So you can't blame Charles too much because Diana was doing her own thing on the side too with Dodi Al Fayed and or is that the name Fayed or Sayed?
Dodi Al Fayed. Yes, they were how would I say? They were modern people, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm sure this has happened in every generation. Like people, royalty have fallen for commoners all throughout, and we saw it being played out in our generation beautifully. Even though there was some very, very sad situations that led to the death of Diana, which nobody believed could have happened. But if you look at the Queen, I know a lot of people blamed her, but those were hard times for her.
Yeah, it was.
They were very hard times for her. You could tell that.
Those were the unpopular days. Those were the days when she was very unpopular, really.
She became unpopular. There was a lot of conspiracy theories going on. And a lot of them were proven and a lot of them could not be proven and all that. But that's why they are conspiracy theories.
Diana stole the show for a while. She kind of became she stood in the limelight and she stole the show. But also, within the Queen's race, so many things that happen. I don't know when in history this can happen again. a person of mixed race was introduced into the royal family by one of her grandsons.
Oh
Let's
yes,
talk about
Harry.
that.
Oh, but we love Harry. I love Harry. I love his craziness. You know what? The Queen's one of her grandson, Louis, is just like Harry. He's crazy. He's so crazy. But yeah, but Harry took after his mom. But like we said, Charles has the same attitude. They want to be free somehow. They still want to be who they want to be, despite the institution. So yeah, Harry picked a mixed race. That's what he wanted. He married well, a black girl. Simple.
Is she really black? She's mixed race, isn't it? But well, in America, she's black.
Well, you see, this whole thing is crazy, isn't it? Just because
everybody wants to be free.
everybody has some form of blood, like we were saying earlier. Would you call yourself? Would you say, "Oh, my great grandfather was this, so I am this"? The blood is mixed one way or
Adam
the other.
and Eve's children.
We are all the same. But just because her mom was black,
yeah.
that's-
I mean, you are in England, so I mean, I want to hear a little bit about the mood about that across England. Please tell us what people feel generally about Harry.
Oh, Harry. Well. It was Harry who chose his wife and decided to move to America with her. But the British public does not accept that. The British public thinks it was Meghan who is controlling the whole show because she's an American. You know, the British are very conservative in their behavior.
The whole rebellion in America.
Forward and powerful in their behavior. So people actually think that she's actually the one who is leading Harry into, this independent lifestyle. But I see different. I see a prince who has fallen for what they call a commoner and wanted to have a freedom, a life of freedom with her, freedom from the institution, to do his own thing. I see his mom in him a lot.
Yes, but what is the lady's name? Angela Markle?
Who? His wife.
Meghan Markle is a princess by herself.
You go to Germany.
She's a Meghan. Her name is Meghan Markle, isn't it?
Meghan Markle.
Oh, is that not her name?
That's her name.
Yeah, Meghan Markle is a princess by herself.
She's an American.
She's a celebrity, self-made princess, and that's a real deal. And I'm sure Harry is like, I want to taste the real world. Just don't want to be part of this. Anyway, time flies so quickly. On this first global edition of Family Morning, it's a fresh day. You can imagine that as you're watching, some of us are sitting in the middle of the night, and you can see the sleeplessness in my eyes. You think you guys are like 5 hours ahead, and so I had to do this at dawn once you guys are awake. I'm still trying to get into this and get back to sleep. We're just about to end this now. Thank you so much, Tish, for joining me this morning. We need to do this again and again. Edition when something major happens. Family TV Global bringing you this for all the Family TV channels across the world. Be a part of this. Be a part of this journey, the part of this story and the family. Thank you, Accra City Hotel. Thank you, Family Cakes. Thank you, Family Expo. Thank you, Family Vacations, and all our different supporters. Thank you so much. You who are watching us from your home, especially our children who tell their parents, let's watch Family TV. Let's change the remote. Thank you. Keep changing. We are for virtue and not for vice. Your life will be better. Thank you so much for joining us. We thank you and have a wonderful week coming up. We'll see you again tomorrow morning. on Family Morning. It's a fresh day.
It's a fresh day.
And thank you, Arki.
Thank
Yeah.